much. I'm so excited to be here with Stacy West from Buttermilk Basin. Morning, Stacy.
Good
I'm
morning.
just I'm just going to get us hooked up to Instagram now, so just give me 1 second here.
Sure.
Okay. We are live on Instagram. Okay, good morning. So I just said on Facebook, morning everyone. I'm so excited to be here with Stacy West from Buttermilk Basin. And oh my goodness, I'm sure so many people in the audience know who Stacy is because she is just everywhere. And if you don't, by the end of this episode, hopefully you will know and you will check out her website at buttermilkbasin.com and you will be blown away just as much as I am. So my first exposure to Stacy was before we actually met. It was at Quilt Market, and I went to your booth, and it was the one where you had all that stuff with the lumberjacks.
Oh, that lumberjack was a hot booth. Yeah, that was fun. Good time.
And I just went in there, and my jaws just like, because my son was he works for the Ministry of Forests. So his job is to manage the forest in our area. So we live in British Columbia and it's very forested. So it's a big responsibility to make sure that, the forest stays healthy and, he deals with fire and, managing all the cutting and all that kind of stuff. So big job. And I saw all that stuff and I was just like, oh, I've got to make something from in here for him. And I was just like, so after I saw that, like every year I would go back and check it out. And we didn't connect for a little bit until after that. But yeah, super fan.
I'm glad we did.
Yes.
It was a pleasure to meet you too and see the creative force behind your Coach House designs too, because I'm a fan.
Oh, well, thanks. But we're here to focus on you. So you live in Minnesota?
I do live in Minnesota. Yep.
And you have a shop there?
Yep. We have a 5,000 square foot quilt shop, and then we have a big warehouse on the opposite end, and then we're expanding into that as well over the next little bit. So
wow.
And then you can see back here, I'm currently in the sewing center where they sell the sewing machines and long arm in boxcar quilts, because we're actually in Texas right now for a big 3-day event.
So. Wow. Now that, I mean, boy, they might have to get on my list for
you need to put this on a bucket list, because I walked in, and so first of all, there's 3 huge buildings that are, I don't even know the square footage, but the coolest, of course, is the one with all the Buttermilk Basin. But I'm telling you, Instagram and their Facebook is amazing. But it's just like when you walk into my shop or their shop, it blows your mind. I had no idea that our stuff was going to look so cool, and the displays are phenomenal. And it's 3 buildings. It's, it's kind of just like my shop. People get overwhelmed and they come in like, oh my God, because we put in a lot of heart and soul into it. We have vintage props and displays. And so when you come into mine, and just like Boxcar here with basically, they've got all my product line in here, and it's super cool because it's just so creative, and you get really a lot of inspiration. It's not just you walk into the quilt shop and it's just wall-to-wall quilts. There's aesthetic and displays and creative ideas. So we work really hard to separate our shop from a lot of the other shops around the country. We really bring you kind of a creative community experience. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's so evident by checking out, you just even looking at your website and how you've got that set up and all the projects and great and amazing things you've done. But I'd like to start off with talking about your story, because you have a quite the family, multi-generational thing going on.
We definitely do. I was fortunate to be surrounded by 3 generations of strong, independent, creative handwork women. So it starts with my great grandma Lily, who lived up the hill from me, and then my grandma Avis. So she lived up the hill too, and then my mom, Linda. So all of us together were quite the creative bunch. So they were super supportive. I remember my great grandma who lived and survived polio, and you would never. Wow. I know, but she is my saving grace, inspiration, and the whole basis of my company is on old school foundations that I was raised with her. And so she would cook and bake, but we would do the rug making and we would do the quilting. And I remember, the little kids, we would get underneath the quilting frame and we'd put the needle up and tie the quilts back in the day. And then my other grandma, she would do all kinds of handwork and, like those state birds. Did you guys do that in Canada too, maybe, or anything where you have all, well, they
Well,
have all embroidery with their birds, the state birds. And so I have a couple, two, three quilts of her handwork made, and they would do pillowcases. And then my mom in ceramic and macrame. And it was just kind of something that was part of me growing up. I mean, I remember I grew up out in the country. And so I would go and just take crayons and paper and go like on the cement and all the different things for textures. So I think a lot of it was just so nurtured every day on the simple
yeah,
things in life. And they would just not believe where I came from now at this point in my life, because they'd be blown away. They'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it's pretty cool." So yeah.
yeah. Well, it's amazing to have that creative support as a child, because I think creativity is just so important to our mental health,
It's
and
great.
just having the ability to imagine and see what that imagination can come up with. My background's a little bit different. I didn't have the three generations. Uh, my mom was a crafter and an artist. She wasn't a quilter. That I picked up all on my own, but she did sew, but only when forced. But every year we would do crafting projects, and she exposed me to all sorts of different crafts, and through that, I ended up with the ones that I love doing. But it certainly makes a difference to have that support, and I tried to do that with my kids too, to sort of carry on that importance. And they've all ended up being fairly creative, which is great. So,
Yeah,
anyways, back to you. So you've got all your family. So your shop started, or you started designing patterns after your dad passed away?
yeah. So my dad took his life back in '95, and so we needed to have a outlet for my mom to support. So obviously, I realized that we were doing a lot of craft shows, and I realized that a lot of people can implement, but they can't originate. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It starts with like you and I. We start with that starting point for everybody, and what they do with their designs is up to them. But we have a good starting point for them. So we realized that, there was a market for me to design in the different mediums. And so then we went to Quilt Market in 1999. So that was my first quilt market. It came to Minnesota, and we had wood crafts and everything. And we were totally like, I think if you were to see our stuff back then, you would be like, what were you doing? But I was so young, naive, and I'm like, I'll try anything once. And so it still didn't matter. We got a lot of shops, and that was the start of it. And then I was able to, provide an income for my mom, and it was a lot of pressure because my brother was also a senior in high school. So then he started doing a lot of the wood crafts and making the frames and everything, because his world kind of got shook upside down. And so through that, I think the biggest thing is that it was our saving grace, and that is what got us through the grief. And I think nowadays people get caught up, and I'm the first one too. You get caught up in deadlines, and you want to do more, you want to be the best or whatever. And that's never been my goal. It's always been that this is my therapy, and this has been always been my saving grace.
Yeah,
So I when I'm dealing with handwork, creating, doing anything, my mind is free. And that's, I think, the best part about whether you're doing quilting, scrapbooking, anything, it literally, it's very therapeutic. And it literally is what saved my mom, my brother, and I. And it's also what built a beautiful, wonderful business that my girls can grow up and hopefully have one day too. So it really has been a blessing. All the blessings have far outweighed all the stress that you have every once in a while.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not,
Well, those deadlines.
so,
So you went to you did some education in design work too, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Bemidji State. That's where I met George, my husband, like pretty much the first day. And so I was dating my high school sweetheart, but then George was just amazing. And then we had a wonderful 4 years of college and went for technical graphic design. And but I have to be honest with you, even though I have this beautiful education, I'm very old school. All my stuff is drawn. And if you know our patterns, they're still drawn by me. And I think it's the one thing that I will probably always continue to do. I think, until maybe someone to do it for me. But
Yeah.
it's one thing that I have left that I can do just by my hands that
Yeah.
nobody can take away from me. I
Yeah.
love to draw. I really love, my favorite thing would be figure drawing. I loved working with charcoal in a lot of different mediums. So I really love all of that. And I think more than the technical graphic design part, I'm just more of an artist too at heart. I'm
Yeah.
very cool. I love the pencil, the paper. I don't do anything with computers if I have to. That's
Yeah.
why I like having you in my life. So help me out and I appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
there's something about picking up that pen and paper and just drawing it out of thin air. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. That is amazing. And I don't think that's my strong point. So I'm very grateful they do have computers, but
Yeah,
it's
you rock out
yeah.
some pretty dang good shit. So
Yeah.
when you're not,
Yeah,
right,
well, I like to think
don't do it
so.
that way. Oh
So
man.
so your first pattern business started with your mom and then you went to Quilt Market
Yep.
and then like now you have this like empire. So how did you go from, just you and your mom showing up at Quilt Market to where you are now? Because like you've got so much going on. Like you got this massive store,
Yep.
you design patterns, you design fabric, you travel constantly.
Too much.
You've written a bunch of books.
Yep.
You've been featured in a bunch of magazines.
Yep. And we have another project coming out this spring.
Oh,
Can't see it,
like,
but I'm excited. You'll love it. So yeah.
so tell us a little about how that kind of went from 0 to 180.
I can easily tell you. And this is one of the things that because I really have tried to help a lot of my designer friends, and I really, more than anything, I really am community based and I want everybody to succeed. And without everybody, we wouldn't all be here. But
Yeah,
I hate to tell you this, there's the secret sauce is showing up every damn day, even when you don't want to. It's
yeah,
putting that time in, it's picking up the pieces that your team left, it's sacrificing family time for that. And sometimes it hasn't been the easiest, and I haven't had the best balance. And I think my family will still say I am very driven and I am work oriented, but I really find, I hate to say this, I find joy in making things happen. So
hmm,
I don't look at a challenge or as a failure, anything. I look at things as a learning lesson and how I can do better. And that's why I like to be able to help other people and other designers if I can, or just general people in life, because I think um, everybody needs a little help and support. And biggest thing that I learned is, I'm going to be honest, there was not a lot of help. And I'm still going to be honest, there's still not a lot of help. There's a lot of people don't want to help people out.
yeah,
And I think that's sad because together you can do some beautiful things. And I worked so hard and I'm still working very hard. And I wouldn't change a lot of it. But if I would have had somebody that could have made it a little bit easier or the opportunities came a little easier, um, that would have been a little blessing to me. So I hate to say it, but the secret sauce is just not giving up, getting up and showing up when you don't want to, and just I show up every day. You know, there's some people that are super talented and maybe are even more talented than me, but they choose not to show up and, do the stuff every day. And that's, I think,
mhm,
the secret sauce is literally just work. I hate to say it. I
yeah,
wish I could tell you there was some magic thing, but I have worked so hard to get where I'm at. And
yeah,
now to try to enjoy the journey more. That's pretty much what I'm after now.
yeah,
And it's never been, I should say, about the sales or whatever, because clearly if I was in it for the money, I would do things completely different and not work this hard and have a lot more help and all these different things.
yeah,
But Um, it's just something also I enjoy. I've always been a hard worker. I've been working since I was 15, back at the Ben Franklin and at Bonnie's Floral, and so it's just, and I like to surround myself with good people too. So that's half of the battle too. So, but
Hmm.
yeah, I wish I had some secret sauce because I would have learned it and did it a lot sooner and a lot quicker. But
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think overnight success is really a realistic goal for anybody. I think that,
so,
showing up and working hard is always the way to go with, slow and consistent is
well, yeah.
sustainable.
And I think you had a good point just there because the sad part is there has been a lot of good designers, good quilt shops, good craft shops, scrapbook, a lot of things in my journey. One of the things you said about slow and steady is I think that's been the difference. I'm always steadfast and I'm stable. I'm not going anywhere no matter what has happened. We've always done fine. So I think there is truth in that. And so sometimes I think that's a good point for you that I just learned that maybe I've done it okay the right way,
Yeah.
because it's been solid. And it's sad because we have seen a lot of good people, and even still to this day, there's a lot of quilt shops closing around us and stuff, and we're still standing. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So that's a good point for people who are especially just starting out. Take your time, patient,
Yeah.
and
And
give
you
up.
and you got to love it. You got to love the work.
If I didn't love it, I would have quit a long time ago
Yeah.
because there are so many days, especially those trade shows when we're doing 3 trade shows in a row. We literally go boom, 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 and you're like, what did I sign up for? But
Yeah.
then you see all the people and you see all your designer friends, and it's great because the
Yeah.
community is really good out here. I mean, I really do love all the different companies, the designers, you guys. It's always great to see everybody. So there's a lot of different blessings that way too that come from it.
Yeah. I think embracing the community, like you totally embrace the community with your shop, and it's an experience and it's a place to go. And just some of the programs that you're offering are so nurturing to the community. And I think that's the sort of the whole reason why I started this series, is to try and nurture the community. Um, I mean, my goal was to do that for Canada. Um, I think that because we are a smaller population with bigger spaces in between us,
Oh,
it's harder to create that connectivity from one side of the country to the next, because we're very much horizontal, right? Like most of the population of Canada is within a certain distance of the border. I can't quote it because I'm not sure
and
exactly what it is.
I grew up 10 minutes from the border. So
Oh,
I learned all the Canadian exchange and everything back old school. So I spent a
yeah,
lot of time in Canada. We played basketball and everything.
yeah,
So so I think even though you are there, it's just the same. The fact that you can bring everybody together through this, it's great.
yeah, yeah. It's really something, I think, in this crazy world of technology and social media. Although this is on social media, but you know what I mean. Like it's just
The, to do what you're doing. Yep.
yeah, social media is great in a lot of ways because it gives the opportunity for people to meet the incredible people around the world
Yeah.
and find out a little bit about them. And it's really funny too. I mean, this is a total rabbit hole, but I've been listening to a bunch of podcasts because I just, having started this, it's kind of increased my interest in sort of what else is going
Yeah.
on out there, and who's talking to who and what they're talking about, and all those things. And there's some pretty amazing people in the world. And I think that um, taking the opportunity to learn more about people and bringing everything down to people and out of corporations and out of, I don't know,
Yeah.
the
I think
I don't know.
now,
It's just important to have those connections, and
yeah.
wherever you can get them and however to encourage them. And I'm very much like you in that I do like helping people.
Yes.
I love nurturing other people's creativity,
There's,
encouraging them.
yeah.
And even when I had my shops, like I started off with a couple shops in the early 2000s, and I would go to craft to shows and I'd be like chatty with all the other stores and, this is, and it was amazing how some were not really receptive to that because
They
it was
still aren't. I
yeah,
mean,
like it's like your competition, but you know what? We're all different. We all offer something different. There's room for everybody because everybody has, I mean, the focus in your store is very specific. I mean, you're very vintagey.
mine
You're
is
very, I mean,
only.
it's so beautiful. It really is. I mean, it's totally my vibe, I must say. I've
Thank
got
you.
you see my vintage embroidery in the
Yes,
background here?
I did. I've already been
Yeah.
checking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in the day when I could actually have time to do that. And then on the left here, this is my great grandmother, my grandmother, and my mom and her two sisters.
See,
So
that's what it's about, man, right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
And
And
about the community and meeting people and everything. And I think what's sad is like if we didn't connect, I would miss out on you hanging out with your beautiful soul and doing things like this. And that's like
yeah,
same with me. I mean, like I'm a fun person. I love to do this thing. So it's sad people don't want to, collaborate or hang out or do whatever because I'm sorry, but we bring the fun. We are
yeah,
here, Boxcar Man, and we are living our best life. So
yeah,
so
yeah. And I
love.
so wish I was there with you right now.
No, there's a ton of people coming. I mean, we were still grabbing stuff literally. People were calling the shop when they heard we were coming. Yeah, Jules shaking her head. We're literally trying to get out the door to catch the plane and they're like, hey, can you grab blah 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 blah? And of course we do because they're like they know we'll do anything for our customers and and
Yeah,
and that they're coming out just because we're fun and love to hang out. It's not even about we just want to make people feel better. We just want to have a good time. There's
yeah,
too crap going on in the world that if we can bring and lighten the soul of a person, it's so worth it.
yeah,
At the and that is literally too. I mean, I have discussions because it's so easy for people to be warriors behind the keyboard and talk about, oh, we can't find your link, and then they just like lose their mind that it's so detrimental. But in the big scheme of things, it's like we're doing this for you so long. It's a gift we're giving to you. And so I think it's a lot of perspective too. So we also try to, as we're doing this, we try to set up people for a little more, to show a little more compassion. And we're very, very good about doing that too, because a lot of times they have a lot going on and you don't know what people have going on in their lives. So by a sew along or by our new designs, we're just there to brighten your day. And, anything we can do that way, we're always going to be able to help. So it's great to make a small difference in people's lives. It really is. It really
yeah.
is.
Now I want to talk about a couple of the events you've got going on at
Sure.
your store. One is there's a excuse me, a stocking contest, and the other one is the tree ornament. So tell us about those.
Yes. So, of course, I'm also very sentimental. I mean, I think I have everything's I got like this tough exterior, but I'm like super squishy and like sentimental inside. And I really love Christmas was a special time. I grew up in a trailer home and, very Christmas has meant a lot. It's meant that you got, your new clothes for the next X amount of months and the decorating with my great grandmothers because I would go do that. So we want to keep some of this tradition going. So the trim the tree, we want everybody to send in any type of ornament as long as it's handmade. We don't care if it's from somebody else's pattern, anything. We want to decorate our tree and we want to keep this tradition going. So send us your ornaments. There's all the information on the website. So just anything. It can be cross stitch, it can be woodworking, anything. So that's one of the things that we've got. And there's a deadline, but we'll still take them, whatever, because we're trimming our tree at the shop. And then the second thing is the Christmas stocking contest. We used to do a lot of quilt on the stick contests and different things. And just like me, I have to adjust. I realized that I was getting too busy doing some things that I kind of forgot too. So I went back to some of the things that we do best. And so back to the community based, we want everybody to design a Christmas stocking, and then we hang it on this beautiful vintage clothesline that I bought that came out of New York, and then my customers come in and they vote, so they get to see and get inspired, but they get to see your work from all over the country, and then they can vote, and then we give gift certificates away for the top 3 prizes. So,
Wow.
and that link, all that stuff is on our events and tab stuff on our website. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love how consistent your website is too, like with the vintage theme, like the graphics.
That would be
So
my
there
daughter.
must be there must be someone, your daughter, who does that, who
Well,
knows how to.
pretty much work side by side, but I couldn't do without her. I would die without her because she her and Grace, because Grace does all the shipping too. So I'm very fortunate to work with both of them every day. And I will say we have two cats that come to work every day, and they're therapeutic. So we get to see them too. So this one of my little grandbabies. So, and we have sleepovers. So but yeah, so Hannah does the graphics, and she's learned a lot, and she's designing fabric too now for Henry Glass. So it's cool that I'm able to keep the tradition going. So then that would be another generation. So that's also equally important to me.
Yeah. Yeah. That is really neat. And I've got a couple patterns coming out with Hannah's fabric for
Yeah, and
her.
they're super fantastic. So we all have to go, and we're going to be having kits and everything. Obviously, we love her work, so we're super thrilled to be teamed up with her on both of our lines. So there's a lot of stuff coming out that you do. So thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. I mean, it just yeah. Like I don't know, my store was called Country Folk, and it was just very much, I love the folkiness of and vintagey stuff. And it was just like my husband and I used to like cruise through the antique. They used to have these antique auctions all the time. We got so much stuff from that. And then it was just so much fun. We haven't been to an auction in a very long time, but I mean, we're so full. I mean,
Girl, you got to get out there. I'm full too, but I'm still buying. I'm still buying.
if
Oh.
we have a very large house. And in the basement of this very large house, there is an unfinished area, which is chock-a-block full of boxes and not nice things necessarily, just stuff
Hey,
we've
we all
accumulated.
we
And
have
I have to get rid of that stuff before we buy anything else, because my kids, like if my husband and I were die tomorrow, it would take my kids 5 years to get rid of all our stuff.
well, probably take
Literally, it's just terrible. It's terrible.
Oh my gosh, but it makes me happy. It makes me
Yeah.
happy.
Oh, speaking of stuff,
Yeah.
your book, Buttermilk, 57 Buttermilk Acres. Tell me
Yes.
about that, because that, I mean, I should say I started drooling, because that's not really the right image, but I was just like, when I saw the cover of that book. Like, what's the story with that?
We have had the opportunity to work with some wonderful publishers, and that one was done with Quilt Mania, and sadly that's not, and then the other ones are all with Martingale Publications. So I've had a lot of interest in people wanting me to get back out and do the books for them, so I probably will. Books are something that I love. I just when you've done as many books as I am, you get the creative freedom to kind of just, what do you want to do? And I'm hoping to pick that back up. It's something that is still missed to this day. And, we bought as much as we could. And we did buy some of the rights back to that. But I just have not had time to print them. So we are going to reprint probably some. But I think my most favorite book that I did was my 57 Buttermilk Acres, which was my home. So I too have a larger home, and it's brand new. It's a modern farmhouse, and so I was able to take all my collections that you probably have like stashed away, and I was to just do a whole book on home decorating and curating all kinds of cute displays and explaining how to do them in your home. And one of the people that I miss dearly in the industry right now is my friend Jennifer Keltner, who is my editor for Martingale. We made some magic happen, and it's sad I don't get to work with her all the time. So still mourning that, Jennifer, if you ever see this, I'm telling you. But yeah, so now those books are hard to come by. We have a couple of them still on the website and available at the shop, but a lot of the other ones you're just going to have to go to Amazon now and get them.
Yeah. So is Buttermilk Acres still available?
Acres, I have those. So yes, you can see that one.
Well, I'm going to order one of those, because I just
pretty dang cool. That is probably my pride and joy. And we were going to do more, but then obviously the world changed for a bit there, and then we just had to do a 360. And I get back into some of that, because I really love throwing a good party, curating everything to match. If you come to any of our events at the shop, they're top notch. We have everything from the food to and everything is, because I love to throw parties. I love to host. So there's no better host than me. I'm going to toot my horn on that one. Everybody loves to for that.
What border crossing are you the closest to?
We would probably just be, I suppose, in Minnesota. What would it be? Huh?
Like
Yeah, probably.
what was that? Sorry.
Winnipeg. Well, it would
Oh,
be up.
Winnipeg.
So that's where I grew up. So that's where the two borders are that I know of. It would be Badette, Lake of the Woods, and then it would be Roseau. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, we went up there when we were young, probably for the wrong reasons too. Could drink
Yeah.
a lot sooner, but I didn't drink because I played basketball. But I definitely did go up there. But I was the driver, so
Yeah.
just
Good for you. But you're allowed to be young and silly too.
yes, we were, and thank God they were in my hands because yeah, I think it was 16. It was young that you could. Yeah, I know that you could drink up there, which was weird.
Yeah, I don't think 16 maybe, but
I think it was pretty young because I took my girlfriends up there. We went up there, I'm telling you. But we had a lot of fun. They had a lot of barn dances and stuff there too. I don't know. We had a lot of good time up there. And we went to the zoo in sixth grade at Winnipeg.
yeah.
That was an annual trip. So it was about 2.5 hours, I think, from where I grew up.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm thinking about going to quote Canada, which is in Winnipeg next year.
I
In
heard it's in Winnipeg this year.
yeah, in 2026. Yeah.
I might go now because I just want to go there. Yeah, Bernadette from Wonderful and them, they want me to, we talk about doing it up there in the show, but
Yeah.
I just don't know all the logistics of doing a show across there.
Yeah. I don't know. Like yeah, I mean I don't have the answer to that. But you work with Wonderful?
Yes, they are amazing. And we have two different thread kits available that they designed for me. So we have our standard color packet one, and then
Yeah.
we twisted stitches, which is where we did a couple different colors together. And so it's more of a textural thread. And
Yeah.
so, yes, so we have both of those exclusives with them. Yep.
Wow. Well, I met that like I mean as a quilter, like I'm sort of limited in the threads. I mean, I'm piecing and I do some machine applique, but I don't really need a lot of thread. So it's not like a super priority for me. So I'm a bit ignorant when it comes to what the options are, but I met the Wonderful family in September, like the mom and dad and daughters that own that company.
Yeah.
They live in Alberta.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and they've got all these businesses all across the world, and I thought, wow, that's just like so impressive. Like when I it's embarrassing. I went up to the dad, and I'm sorry, I can't remember his name at the moment, but I said, oh, so are you like a salesman or something with the? And oh no, I own the company. I'm like, oh,
You never know. They are so approachable. They are.
yeah,
And
they're
what
so nice.
could happen for me? I mean, they are so genuine and they ship everything about them. They're good. And also, the cool part about them is they're out there on the road, also learning, sharing their passion and having people learn from them because at all the shows that I go to, they're there. So, another reason to go to shows and
Yeah,
have a good time. So,
yeah.
yep.
Shows are amazing. Like the show I met them at was at an open house at Quilt Source, which is a Canadian distributor
Oh,
located in Ontario. And so I went to this open house they had, and there was, all these people there they weren't salesmen. They were all owners of all these
oh,
companies.
really?
It was really cool.
Very,
Yeah, so it was fun, but it's
yeah,
just nice to put, names and faces to products and, it creates that connection. And then you want to
yes.
help them and support them and just
Yeah.
be tooting their horns around the world, just like
Yeah.
I will be tooting yours.
Well, I appreciate any tooting all day because I'm pretty humble most of the time, except every once in a while, like I said, I will toot my horn because I am a good hostess. So I'm just saying.
Oh, wow. Well, then I definitely got to check that out on a
Yeah.
in
No,
person.
we have a especially at that shop. So,
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Well,
yes,
it's been awesome chatting.
appreciate the
I
opportunity. Thank
and
you.
I'm looking forward to working together more next year.
Oh yeah,
And
we're just
I
getting started.
yeah, and I got to book a trip
Yes,
to visit you in Minnesota because
definitely.
I really want to see that in person.
We could even do some type of event or something. So we'd
Yeah,
love to do event shop. That's one of the big things we do too.
yeah,
So
that
got a
is
lot of stuff coming up. And yeah, that's something that we have even my friend Lori. She's coming and she's speaking on just how creativity, how creativity can ignite that spark back. So we also bring in some like where it's just, good for the soul type events too. And do a lot where we give back. So it's complimentary. So you can just come and enjoy the day and be inspired and hear some soul singing and, or feel it when she's speaking because she's speaking. So
What's Lori's last name? Lori's last name?
Lori Severson. Yep. And that's on the site too. And then one other thing I'll add quick here is that we're launching cross stitch. So
wow.
we're just getting into that. And so we'll be launching that on Shop Small Saturday. So we've got who's coming into town too from Indiana. So, hey, anything else anybody wants to do with me, I'm open. I love to make stuff happen. I'm telling you.
It's funny because, and just as a complete another rabbit hole thing, that with the whole hand stitching thing, it really is going through a revival right now. Because I noticed that because at Quilt Market, a lot of the quilt pattern designer / fabric designers are doing either cross stitch or embroidery or whatever. Like it's just like a nice little add-on project to coordinate with bigger projects, but it's totally coming back again. It's neat that way. I mean, it's just so therapeutic. I mean, even if you're
at the end of the day, like I said, that's all about for me, honey. I'm telling you.
It's a good,
you got to feed that soul and you got to get inspired. And also, I also want to let people know if you just want to be stash collectors, there's nothing wrong with that. You're still enjoying the journey. Like Jewel over here, she's a stash collector, and there's nothing wrong with that because you're still going through all the motions. If you don't get it done, it's not a big deal. You have to enjoy that journey. So if you like to collect them and still get the fibers and the same concept, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? I got a cross stitch stuff. I'm never going to do anything with it, but I'm tactile. I love to see it, feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got a bunch of Crab Apple Hill patterns. I love those patterns. I miss them so much. But anyways, I've got a bunch of projects. I made a big she used to do stitching, like embroidery stitching with quilt mixed into the quilts, right? So I've got 4 kids, so I bought one for each kid.
Did you?
And I've made one so far.
Oh, well, there's still time. Funny thing with Meg, we've taught together and stuff at Buggy Barn and stuff. But she inked my projects for Peaceable Dry Goods when they sent out. This is how old I am. When it was snail mail and we sent out newspapers. So I think she was out of Spokane, Washington, Peaceable Dry Goods, and so Meg actually inked my designs to go into that, and then. I don't know how it all transpired, but then she started to do the embroidery. But it's always fun to be a little piece of her little journey too.
Yeah. Wow, that's awesome.
Well, she's damn talented too. So
yeah, I love her work.
Wish she was still in the industry, but there's a lot of other ones out there.
Yeah.
We're all to do a little creative to fill that little void. We won't fill it, but we got a lot of options. So
for sure. Well, you have an event going on there today, so I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much.
You're so
welcome. Really enjoyed, and I look forward to chatting with you some more. So goodbye, everyone, and have a creative day.
Thank you, honey. All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.